Hey there, story fellows, I hope you're doing alright, not just physically, but also mentally. This story time is pretty short, but may be important for some of you. If there are some people struggling with depression and anxiety watching this, it will be okay. In the end, everything will turn out to be just fine. Just be patient and try to talk with anyone you trust about your problems. Yeah, so today's story is about a person who probably couldn't do it. It is about a girl that overdosed at my school. Now it could have been young stupidity playing its role, but an important aspect of this story time is the importance of your mental health. It may sound funny for some of you, but I take it rather seriously. Let's jump straight to it. Southwest. This all takes place about a year ago. It was just a regular Tuesday morning, as usual. I woke up, overslept the school actually, brushed my teeth, didn't have breakfast as I was already late for school, got in my jackets, shoes and left. So I arrived to the second period of the day. I had my German lesson. It all went as usual, just did some vocabulary practice and went on with the day. The fourth period is when this story time picks up. I see a girl walking down the hall with tears in her eyes. I knew her because we had an English class together. One thing about this girl that I have noticed throughout the time we were in the same classroom was that I have never seen her smile, like never. I never knew her as my friend, so I did not know much about what was going on in her personal life. That's basically all I knew about her. She was lonely all the time, mostly would see her hanging out by herself anywhere, to be honest. So this girl, let's give her a name, Cassie, walks down the hall with her backpack on, and I hear a familiar sound which I recognized. It was the sound that glass bottles made when they were bouncing into each other in the backpack, but I did not think that through. I see her go into the ladies' restroom and just stay there. I was just sitting there in the hallway still, doing my math homework or whatever. At the time I was really messing up my math class, so I had to put in much work towards it to even solve a standard task in the class. Shit was crazy. Shout out to those who understand math, give me a piece of your brain, please. Anyways, that Cassie girl just stays there for the rest of the break between classes and I do not see her come out whatsoever. And I just leave, don't think much of it. Now about half an hour into the maths class I hear ambulance sirens outside our school just rushing into the parking lot and coming to the school. I was sitting near the window in my math class, so I could see most of the things of whatever was going out outside. And no more than 5 minutes later I just see them with this medical portable bed thing carrying out a girl which seemed familiar to me. So I take a closer look and it's no other than this sad Cassie girl, which I previously saw walking into the bathroom and never actually coming out. She never came out from it, she got carried out by the ambulance. And from where I was watching all of this happen in the real time, I did not see her move a muscle. So the ambulance fled away and basically drove her down to the hospital to give her the needed treatment. And for the rest of the day, that was it for the day. I haven't heard of her. I've just heard someone talking about seeing the same thing I saw. The second day rolls around and I get a text from my group chat of my school friends and in general classmates, and it says, "Turn on the news, it's the Cassie girl." So I turn on the news out of curiosity and the first thing I see is her mother crying and admitting to her overdosing at school, talking about how she said she weren't in the right place at all, that she hated that place and she decided to do drugs at school. From previously, I've heard the glass bottle sounds coming from her backpack, so I assume it was alcohol, but it wasn't the only thing she's done in that bathroom, that same day. It was the medicine that she has taken with the alcohol, and as you know, it doesn't go along the way together when you mix it up. The girl mixed the antidepressants with vodka and just started puking in the bathroom, and soon after she just dropped down bashing her face in the toilet. This girl went into a coma. She was near death when she got into the hospital, but luckily, they managed to her clean and help her to gain consciousness. So the best part was that this girl turned out to be fine in the end, was in coma for about 2 hours. And luckily her head turned out to be fine. But if she would have laid there for longer, most probably she would be dead by now. Some days passes by, I don't see her anywhere near our school. Some weeks pass, I still don't see neither hear from her. I actually ended up texting her and asking if she was alright, and she responded to me. She was a nice girl, all the shit just hoarded up that day and she did not know how to handle it. So she ended up leaving our school, even our city, as she hated the place she was living in. I understand her for that and I respect her decision. I did not talk much to her after that, but hey, if you are somehow watching this, I hope you're doing wonderful and the place where you are is much more nicer and calm for you. Yeah, so this was not the best, neither a funny story time, but it was rather to spread awareness about the people who may be struggling with some stuff in their lives. If you're one of them, stay strong, talk to someone, anyone. it is much better to open up to the right people than to pass out in bathrooms and overdose on pills. Stay strong, story fellows, everything is going to be just fine, at least one day it will.